Okay, so today we are diving headfirst into, well, the world of high-potency supplements. Our mission really is to figure out if this one product, Nutrivein Premium Resveratrol 1450 milligram, is it legitimate? Or is it just a bottle of expensive hype, maybe even, a wasted dose? The claims are certainly ambitious. Things like anti-aging, energy boosts, immune support, all apparently packed into this massive 1,450 milligram serving. Uses botanicals like Japanese knotweed and grape skin, plus some vitamin C. Okay, let's try to unpack this a bit.
Yeah, and what's fascinating right off the bat is let's call it the marketing sparkle. The company highlights things like GMP compliance, being vegan, and they note their facility is FDA registered. And that definitely helps fuel that pretty strong 4.6 out of 5 rating you see on Amazon.
Hold on. If they're FDA registered, doesn't that sort of imply it's vetted, like guaranteed to work?
Yeah.
Especially at such a huge dosage.
Ah, that's actually the first really critical distinction we need to make for you, the listener. Registration just means the facility is known to the FDA. It's on their list. It absolutely does not mean the FDA has endorsed the product's claims or, verified the potency of that specific 1,450 milligram dose.
Gotcha. So it's more about the place it's made, not the pill itself.
Exactly. And the hype gets going because, well, some users do report things like better energy, maybe improved metabolism. You even see these specific anecdotes, sometimes people claiming neck pain eased up in just days. It really feels like people chasing that youth pill magic.
But there's also that static from users who are more skeptical, and that's important too, right? They question if it's mostly just vitamin C and, cheap filler. And those complaints about capsules arriving oxidized and brown, that sounds like a big red flag to me.
Oh, definitely. That immediately suggests potential quality control issues. Trying to keep this compound stable is notoriously difficult. And this is where it gets really interesting when we start separating that user experience from the actual chemical reality. Because while the preclinical evidence for resveratrol, what happens in lab dishes or animals, is genuinely fascinating, its potential role in cells.
Yeah.
The evidence in humans is, well, let's just say it's tentative at best.
Okay, so what's the core scientific problem then, especially with this ambitious dose?
The major red flag, the biggest issue, is its extremely low oral bioavailability.
Bioavailability, meaning how much your body can actually use.
Precisely. You might take that huge 1,450 milligram dose, but how much actually gets into your system and does something? Think of it like trying to fill a bathtub with a teaspoon while the drain is wide open. It's just not efficient. Once you swallow it, your liver basically acts like a very effective neutralizing filter. It rapidly metabolizes the active molecule into inactive forms, these conjugates.
Ah, okay, so your body's essentially just neutralizing or flushing out the vast majority of that expensive supplement almost straight away.
That's pretty much it. We're talking about achieving only maybe micromolar levels of the active form circulating in your plasma, which is often far, far below the threshold shown to be effective in some of those lab settings.
So it sounds not just inefficient, but maybe pointless at that dose.
Well, inefficient is definitely accurate. And beyond that, when the body tries to process such a huge amount, it could even create a potential safety risk.
Okay, tell us a bit more about that risk. What are we looking at?
Well, short-term trials have tested resveratrol safely up to about 1,000 milligrams a day for 90 days. The main side effects reported were just mild GI discomfort, no major toxicity. But the chronic long-term effects of taking 1,450 milligrams every single day, that's poorly understood. We just don't have the data.
Right.
The main concern, theoretically, is potential drug interactions. High concentrations might inhibit certain enzymes in your liver, the CYP enzymes.
And those are basically your body's main detoxification pathways, aren't they?
Correct. So if you slow down those enzymes, other drugs you might be taking could potentially build up to dangerous levels. This is especially concerning if you're on something like blood thinners.
That makes sense.
So the divergence here is key. You have users maybe misinterpreting placebo effects or very subtle changes as real efficacy. And this is happening while, actual laboratory tests on some resveratrol supplements out there have shown pretty inconsistent quality and potency.
So bringing it all together, what does this really mean for this specific ambitious 1,450 milligram formulation from Nutrivein? It sounds like the science, especially in humans, just isn't solid enough yet to guarantee those big claims, particularly when you factor in those fundamental absorption limits you talked about.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. If we connect this to the bigger picture for you, our listener, the overall recommendation has to be caution. For many people, honestly, low to moderate doses of resveratrol might offer more reliable value, if any. Or perhaps looking into compounds that are better studied and, frankly, better absorbed. Definitely proceed cautiously and always talk to your doctor first before starting something like this.
Right. It really highlights the difference between what people might feel or perceive and what the science actually confirms. I guess the knowledge here for you is about asking that question. When does a super high dose stop being therapeutic and just become an expensive, maybe even slightly risky experiment that bumps up against the hard limits of your own biology? Definitely something to chew on.